So, a lot of these chords that we are going to learn today are chords that we already have gone over both in here and probably chords that you guys have gone over or seen, or notes that you've seen or heard outside of here. If you can kind of picture the tune, it's kind of a mellow tune, you know, and it's got that straight kind of 4 kind of beat, right? So what we want to do is we want to kind of get that mood into our heads. We're going to start off with a G chord, okay? So everybody who has a chord G, you're going to play the G chord here, right? Right? Now for those of you who don't have the ability to play the G chord, what you're going to play is the bass note G, 6th string, 3rd fret. That's the 3rd count. You got to count 3. You're going to have to count 3. You got 3? Yeah. Should be right there. Right? Alright? So you play a G chord. So I don't want to just voice play this chord. Some people use 3, some people use 3. That's really bad experience. So I use my not a bad thing. Alright? Should I hold it just fine? Yes, you got a G? Perfect. Okay. So, now you're going to hear a couple of different things. Okay? The switches are on the 2. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2. The G to the D to the C. Right? Let's take a look at it just for a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the chords first. Alright? The switch. Chord switching can sometimes be a little daunting. When we want to switch, we've got to choose a couple of different things. We've got to choose an anchor finger, first and foremost, the fingers that are going to move first. In the G, to me, finger number 2 has to be, what's going on, man? Finger number 2 has to be the one that makes the lead. If finger number 2 doesn't make the lead, the rest of the guys aren't playing enough. Okay? So, the bass note G, done. Right? Next note is going to be the D, or to a D major, right? Now, if all of you who have the D major chord in your vocabulary, we're going to pull out this one here. Right? For those of you who want to finger that chord quickly, it's going to be 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 1st string, 2nd fret, right? And that's now, what I'm going to tell you guys is this. For those of you who do not have the D chord, you can hit the root note D by playing your open string on the 4th open string right here, this one. Right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one. 1 more. That's the one. That one, right? That guy right there. D, right? It's going to be open D. Right? If you're not going to pay attention, then I'm not going to keep saying it. Open D. That means that the string is not played. It's open. And it's going to be a 4th string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Try that one right there. Give me that. Perfect. Good job, Ethan. All right. So, we're going. G. To a D. Right? To a C. Right? Turn off. I can't even hear you. Good. Right? To go 5th away. Yep. Right? Right? Guys, we got a ringer. We'll introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brian.
Brian
Hey, Brian.
actually is one of the young shred heads that comes around here. He's plays in how many bands now? 10, 11? Two. 2 bands. Great guitar player. Hell of a guy. His parents support every last bit of his efforts, so of course
How
I'm
many
going
get
to play
paid for
for you
that?
guys too. I get paid nothing for that.
Okay.
Because the kid's a ringer, and when he can play, you say the kid can play. If you can't play, you send him home. But he's all good. He's all good. This stuff. Let me get you an amp real quick. But this stuff is Clapton. Wonderful Tonight. Straightforward, simple stuff. But I do want to lay some chords down so these guys can hear you play a little bit. Every week we get some ringer that shows up, and this week it's you. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to grab Brian in here now. So now, here's the thing. With a song like Wonderful Tonight, it's not so much about what you play, because the what you play here is very, very straightforward, very, very easy to play. It's the how we play. It's how fast, how slow, the sound we have, and the feeling that we bring to the song. That's really what it's about, okay? So, for Heather and Ethan, you guys are going to be playing G, D, C, D. Okay? Let's try that all together first. Alright? So it's going to go. Don't be afraid. On that one there, on the big string, number 3, we're going to go once. Go. Yep. You go. Number 3. Count 3 for me. Right? 1, 2, 3. So go right there. Excellent. Right? So we're going to get that G first. Nice. Or just a little bit. There you go. That's right. There it is. There you go. Nice job. All right. Now we're going to go, good job, Heather, right, to D. That's going to be the 5th string, right? That's going to be that one right here. And then it's going to be the 5th fret, Heather. Very good job. Good on 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4 with a dot. Yes.
And then 4th string.
And then no. And then 5th string, 3rd fret. Same string, back down to the 3rd. Nice job. There you go. Nice job, babe.
Now same one.
You got it. Hold on.
Same string right there. Right there. Now hit that same string again. Right there.
Good.
There you go.
Good. And then back to that other one, the one you just played, the 5th fret, 5th string. Right? What? So we got.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Good. Good.
I'll help you in a second.
Nice. No, you. There it is. There it is. Nice job.
See what happens when you pay attention? You know when
All right,
to
ready? We're gonna go 3. Play that one first. Right there. You got it? Slide forward a little bit. Good. That one right there, pal. That's the one. Good. Now you're gonna go to this one over here.
Thank you.
No problem. Yep. Good. Now you're gonna go to this one over here. Good. Go ahead and do that one.
That's mine.
Got it.
Oh, this is good.
And then back to
Right on,
this one here. There it is. Nice job. Okay. What we gotta do. Right? Now we've got to establish rhythm. Right? Timing. Probably the most important thing about any of this music that we play is rhythm. Right? Right? And the switches are on. Twos, right? Right? So it's going to be switch and 2, switch and 3, switch and 4, switch, right? So it'll be. Got some minor pentatonic for this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, nice job.
Good job,
Good
man.
job, Pete. Okay, now what you're hearing the illustrious Brian play so beautifully is basically at the core of it the E minor pentatonic scale, of course embellished with some wonderful musicianship and some good note choice. But we're going to go through the scale, through the chords, and kind of show you where the connections are between these two things. Now that we've got the chords, we're going to try the rhythm. We're going to try it all together, all right? Remember, the most important thing here is to screw it up. This way, you know what it sounds like screwed up, and then you don't play it that way anymore, okay? It's very important to know what not to play. Knowing what to play is only half the battle, right? Knowing what not to play is the other half. So, I'm going to kick it off, and everybody's going to join in. Remember, ready to make the changes, you make them. If you're not ready to make the changes, you got to push yourself towards using a drum beat, a metronome, something to keep time for you. That's the essence of it. You ready, man? Real quick. Count 3 for me. Here. 1, right? 2, 3. So it's going to be 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay? Now we're going to have to get into some of the lead part that occurs there. There's an opening lead, and although not for nothing, it sounded like, you know, your lead could have been the opening lead. That's not the actual lead. The actual lead is a bit simpler, but still very, very straightforward. And I want you guys, whether you're playing acoustic or electric or bass or whatever, it's good to understand what scale is being used to create the lead. So let's look at the scale first. The scale that Clapton plays over that entire song is what we call the E minor pentatonic scale, okay? And I've shown it to you a couple of different times in a couple of different ways. We even touched on it last week with the Hendrix stuff we were doing. So we're going to go through the scale just one note at a time and kind of, this is more so to kind of put in your vocabulary. This isn't just for this song. Scale can be applied to almost any blues jam or anything that you want to do in this kind of G kind of progression, right? So we're going to start off at the 12th fret, okay? Double dots, okay? So you're going to see where your 12th fret is, and if you can't see it with your dots, you go ahead and count 12, okay? Yep, we're going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? All right, well then you got to find it, and once you find it, everything good? Yeah. Okay. Once you find your 12th fret, once you find your 12th fret, what you're going to do is you're going to start to kind of follow this scale a little bit, okay? So now, for that, and this is more so, again, for the guys who are kind of a little bit more advanced, so keep holding that one right there. We're going to go 12, 15, okay? So our first note's an E, our second note's a G, right? 12, 15. Right? And actually, not for nothing, if you did like, just one second, if you did like the actual notes that you heard Brian playing, one of the reasons that they fit so well is because a lot of what he was playing was inside of this pentatonic scale. So learning this scale, it will help you to not only, you know, play some neat stuff on the guitar, but also expand your ear. You know, the more that you play things like this, the more that your ear will kind of get used to hearing things like this. So we're going to go 12, 15. We're going to go 12, 14 after that, Heather. I'm going to make it through this lesson. I am going to make it through here, and then you can ask your questions. But I need you to ask your questions at the end. Is that okay? Well, that's because you got to use your pinky. Besides the fact that this section is really more for advanced players like your dad and for the adults. All right. And the other thing is that because that cutaway is on the other side, it's going to be a little bit harder. But I'm going to do another type of scale here just for you. That's going to make more sense. All right. So I'm going to do the first one for the grown-ups, and I'm going to give you guys one that's special for you. Fair? Cool. Of course, for you, man. You know that. All right. You got the G chord. Okay. Hello. Who hooked me up with
He's
tape?
the ringer.
He's the ringer.
I know. He's the
real ringer. All right. So I asked what the 7 is, right? Or something like I forgot. I said, "What's the 7 in G?" Right? Was that the question?
It was
No. What was the 7 in A? The only one. G. That's the ringer right there. Back. Watch out for him. You better watch out for that guy right there. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a look at this scale. We're gonna go 12, 15, 12, 14. Right? Right? You gotta count them. 12 to 15. Don't make any mistakes. Don't go fast. Right? Count them out. Right? 12 to 15. Should be to your next dot. Right? Right. You got it. 12 to 14. Right? On the 5th string. So we're 2 notes per string.
So we're doing the 6th string and the 5th string.
We're doing 2 notes per string, 6th, 5th, 4th, 7th.
So 12, 15.
Right, and then 12, 14 on the next one.
Oh, okay. We're going down. I got
Yep.
you. I'm
So
sorry.
we're
We're sitting on the same string.
Not a problem. 12, 15, 6th string, right? Then 12, 14.
What's that on 5th string?
Yup, 5th string, 12, 14. Right, very nice. 14. Right, another 12, 14. That's the one right there. Then another 12, 15. Oh, well, here we'll do another 12, 14. Right. Then we're going to do another 12, 15. And then the last 12, 15. Nice.
I like that.
Now, when you take this home and get to actually play it, it'll sound like this. Thank you. So
that's tight.
yeah, totally.
That's good.
As a matter of fact, all of you should have it down just like that, right? 15, we're good. You got the math, right? Now here's the deal. We'll take a look and we'll see now how that scale has been utilized to go ahead now and write the riff. Okay, so. All of that is based off of the scale. So what are we going to do? We're going to start off on the 14th fret, 3rd string, right? And that's going to be an A. And we're going to bend that one, right? We're going to bend it up to a B, okay? Real easy. 3rd string, right? Right? So what we're going to do, what you're actually mimicking is this movement right here, right? Okay? So it's going to be, right? So as I hit that note, I've got to bend that note up to a B. There's a good bend right there. Right? So now what ends up happening is as I bend that string and I go for that, right? I'm never, ever, ever getting off of that string on the first 2, 3, 4 notes of that entire riff. What Clapton does there is over that string, right? Over that, right? You're going to get, right? Then your second lick is going to be to the E. So it's going to be once, and then twice. Okay? Don't be afraid to try. Try to bend that string. Try to get that out of there. Right? But remember.
So you hit twice.
Right. Right.
So you pick that twice.
So right. Well, pick it once. Well, you want to bend it first.
Bend it first and pick it.
You want to bend it first. You want to get that bend up to that A. One more. Try coming down with the bend instead of bending up. Bending up is much harder. Try pulling the string down. That's a little bit better. Okay? So what you're going to do is as you play this, again, if the note isn't matching, right? Let me borrow that for a second. Right? The one thing that I can tell you is this, is that on a guitar such as this one, it may be a little bit more difficult to hit those notes because the bend requires a little bit more hand energy. Right? So what you want to do is take the time to see, okay, which way is the best way to bend this thing? A downward bend here is very, very, very possible by using your hand as a fulcrum. Go ahead and bend and hit some vibrato. Right. You look at his left edge. Look at the left edge of his hand and look where he's just hold it.
I just want to see. I want to see him do it.
The other way. Perfect. Just watch his left hand. You'll see. Right. There's a fulcrum there. There's a rocking. There's a rocking of the hand. It's not just he's shaking it in a spastic fashion. Right. He's actually rocking the hand and using that as a fulcrum, using his thumb and also using the far edge of the first finger, the outer edge. So this, that isn't just by pulling on the string with the finger. You're actually using your entire hand to bend the string. Try hitting the note now on my guitar. Go to 12 and then go to 14. Go to your third string. Now you bent the heck out of it. Okay? So what you're going to have to do is, much easier to bend this.
It's better bend on it, easier on electric.
Right, a little bit easier on electric. So it's going to be a little bit easier on electric to bend it, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to learn how to bend it no matter what you're right.
No.
All right.
No, I like this one.
We're on 14 and
Sorry.
3. 14 and 3 in the bend, and then you just come up one holding down,
Yes.
and then get back down.
And you get back to
40.
40. Yeah, exactly. Right? So we've got 6 minutes is what I got. Right? So we've got, right? Then our landing point is going to be back to that E there. Right? Then it's going to be a climb up straight up the A minor. Okay? So, back one. There's the bend. Nice. All right.
Yes.
All right. So, play that line over the chord progression for a second. All right, guys. We're going to give you the example of the lead line being played over the chord progression, so you can hear the timing of it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? And that's how it's hit. Nice job.
That's sweet.
So, at the end of the day, the most important thing, as you can see here, to capture the mood is not necessarily the chords, not even necessarily the notes, it's also the rhythm. The rhythm becomes key. Before you guys go home and start doing this, before you go home and do that, try doing this. Scale handouts. What you guys can do is you can take this stuff home and you can try it out yourself, okay? But the most important thing about any of this stuff that we do here is to not just do it while you're here, do it while you're home, okay? Now, if you want, give me 2 minutes. Let me make some photocopies of this stuff, and I'm gonna hand out the chords first. We're probably gonna stick with some of this stuff. Probably next week as well. So if you want to come back to it and continue with it, we certainly can. But even if we don't get to do that, the handout that I'm giving you won't be just these 3 chords in that one scale. It's actually going to be 7 chords and a 3-octave scale to kind of expand beyond what we're playing here. Okay. Any questions about anything that we did?
What about what you just did, but for me?
scale you.
Exactly what you would do here is you're going to take those same notes, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to move them back this way, okay? Right, so if I'm going E, G, there, I'm going to go open E. You ready now? I'm going to go open 6. And then I'm going to go third fret. Count 3.
Like, kind of like this?
Right? Tell you what, could you help him as I move and direct her? Could you move his fingers in the right direction? This way at least I can get it done.
No, I got you back.
Right? So you'll go E, and then you'll go G at the third. Right? Okay, let me get this right. You got it.
Where we going?
Right? We're going open E.
That's
Right.
open E. Remember your big chord, fat chord, you open E.
Yep.
So no fingers on the E.
Right? And then we're going to go to the third fret.
Third fret, magic finger number 1.
Yep.
Magic finger number 1, 1, 2, 3 right here.
See if I can sink it
So take your first finger
down here.
and right there.
Nice.
Okay? So what you do, open E first, hit your open E.
Two.
Remember your open chord. Sorry.
Do it.
Now go here.
That's good, but I'm going to teach you the scale,
Go ahead.
and that's going to be it. So you want to
Go ahead. You want to learn it, then pay attention.
Come on.
Don't play with my machine.
Open to 3.
Now hit
Right.
again. Go
Right.
ahead. Now
Then
what next?
open to 2.
Now,
on the
now
fifth
go back.
string.
Now go down here. Open. So watch. We go this. Let's start again. Okay, perfect. So you go. No, that's right. Open.
And then 2.
And take his finger.
Okay.
And go there. Hit it. Hit it.
That same open chord.
Then go open next string down.
Here.
Nice. And then to
The
2.
first one
And
is
then
actually
the string number.
open.
Then use that finger number 2.
The same note with that Nirvana
Go like
song.
that. And hit the fit. Hit the
So this
string.
is why it is so
Got it. String.
You can hear it.
Perfect.
Nice job.
More in the middle of the fret.
All right.
Try to play a chord. Always try to play in the middle. Okay?
Open 3, open 2, open 2. Open 3, open 2, open 2. Okay, that's
So this is it.
That's how you do it.
all right.
What's that?
That's what you just practice that. Okay?
No,
Practice it all.
I get to work.
So fifth string on 2, not
Not tonight, because I'm going back to the
Open
office.
3, open 2,
That's not
open 2.
necessarily good.
Okay.
No, Mommy doesn't know how to play the guitar. She can't help me.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Now, I'm going to be handing out some handouts for some of the chord and scale stuff that's related to this, if you want to stick around for those. Again, for anybody who was here, thank you for coming. We're starting to do these things again every week, so come on out.